undeveloped kid. I'm experienced now, professional. Jaw's been broke, been lost, knocked down a couple times. I'm bad.
I literally bring my way up. Motherfucker will see, gotta wake up. Hell no, I can't wait till the beat build. Gotta show motherfuckers how he feel. I come from the bottom of steep hill. Whole time I was grinding, they stand still. Nigga, don't act like I owe you shit. I was solid with mine, I handled it. I literally wake up my way up. Motherfucker will see, gotta wake up. Hell no, I can't wait till the beat build. Gotta show motherfuckers how he feel. I come from the bottom of steep hill. Whole time I was grinding, they stand still. Nigga, don't act like I owe you shit. I was solid with mine, I handled it. Black gold, I'ma shine with it. My mind vivid and I rhyme wicked. Grind spinning, do a 960, never bored with it. I'm just more gifted. Pull up on them, got the windows tinted. I'm a rap menace, really no killers. Handshakes when I handle business. Head nods to the real niggas. Get the fuck out of my face. Cause I ain't see you when I hit the kitchen with the stove. Woke up when I got some money, then I said fuck it, I need some more. Hearing these lame ass rap niggas claiming that they got it and they really don't. Put the nigga on the track with me and I'ma show you he ain't really want no smoke. Whoa.
I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Miguel Tucker TV stream, live stream to be exact.
I literally bringing my way up. Motherfucker will see, gotta wake up. Hell no, I can't wait till the beat build. Gotta show motherfuckers how he feel.
Oh man, okay, that was beautiful. Shout out to Black Efron. That was the music playing in the background. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. It is finally here. The day we've all dreaded, okay? I knew it was coming. You know, I knew Senor Tangerine was going to keep his word eventually. I mean, actually, he's been keeping his word all through his campaign. You know, I'm not even finna lie. Everything he said he was going to do before he got in the White House, he's done it. Okay. Far as like mass deportation, a lot of other crucial shit that he's been doing, far as like getting rid of like the DEI program and stuff like that, even though like it wasn't a lot of black people who benefited from it anyway. It was mostly white women and, you know, a lot of foreigners who have benefited from it. But yeah, say what you want about Senor Tangerine. He has kept his fucking word on every subject that he is chose to follow through with. So I'm not gonna lie, this last promise that he's followed through with, it got me kind of scared, man. I didn't think they were really gonna bomb, you know. I thought he would just pop his shit as usual, you know, because you know Trump, he loves to talk like an Italian mobster, you know, when he's trying to get deals done or anything to go in his way or in his favor. But damn, I really just woke up to this shit. I think, what is it? What's today? Yeah, today, the 21st, he announced it. I think it was this afternoon that they bombed Iran. So, man, I seen a couple videos online. It was a couple interpreters from the Iran government or military or whatever base. They're threatening retaliation. They said the U.S. has committed grave crimes against the Iranian government. Man, what the fuck are we gonna do now? Do you think we're gonna have a draft? Like, how does that work? Like, you know. Because I know back then they would have like little letters they would send out to people to have them enlist into like the war, like, you know, the Vietnam War, the World War II, you know, when everybody went over to Germany and shit like that. How's it going to work this time? Because it is a lot of people who are going to refuse. There's going to be a lot of draft dodgers this time around. Like, I had to sip something today. I had to sip something tonight, man. Like, this is the night we're going to sip. I got pineapple mango and a little bit tequila, Jose Cuervo Silver. You understand? It goes down so smooth. It goes down so smooth. But I would like to know a lot of people's thoughts on this subject. But okay, let's see. Let's see. Usually I'm not really a big supporter of Fox News, but they usually tend to get the details right because they are the biggest cock gobblers of the Trump administration. So, it says lawmakers join forces to block U.S. from bombing Iran. I guess this didn't work out how they thought it was gonna do it, right? He still did it anyway. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God. Whoever that is, give it up. Take it home. Put it in the trash can. All right.
A bipartisan group of House members have just returned home. They visited allies in the Middle East and Bahrain and the UAE. Planned stop in Israel was canceled because of security concerns. Republican Congressman Zach Nunn is one of those lawmakers who made the trip.
We have seen just a tidal wave change in the Middle East, and it was important that we have a bipartisan congressional delegation on the ground. The ask was for de-escalation, to be able to see Iran come back to the table. And a big salute to President Trump, who had offered this time and time again.
Congress is divided over U.S. involvement in the crisis, especially when it comes to a potential strike on Iran. Senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram's on Capitol Hill for us. Morning, Chad.
Jackie, good morning. The biggest question is if Congress should authorize military action. California Democrat Ro Khanna is disappointed that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer did not give a clear answer about the possible involvement of U.S. forces.
He could have said, no, I'm not, because I want Trump to attack Iran. Or he could have said, yes, I am, which is where I think the Democratic Party should be. Instead, he gave this gobbledygook answer, which no one other than Washington Beltway can help us understand.
Khanna teamed with Kentucky Republican Thomas Massey to write a resolution barring the U.S. from bombing Iran. In the Senate, Democrat Tim Kaine will force a vote on possible American intervention. For the GOP, there's a risk of fracturing the MAGA coalition. That's because the president campaigned on staying out of wars. Lawmakers also don't want to hamstring President Trump with congressional limitations.
Donald Trump gets to define what MAGA is, frankly. I believe that given the president latitude to do what the intelligence is pointing towards.
Brad Schneider was on the trip to the Middle East. He says Gulf states worry about U.S. strikes sparking unrest in the region, but they also agonize about Iranian threats.
What we heard in every country is that they know a nuclear-armed Iran is an existential threat to every country in the Gulf. At the same time, the longer this war goes on, the greater the chance of it expanding and bringing in these other countries. And so they want to move to de-escalation as quickly as possible.
Now, Chuck Schumer is in a bind. As the highest-ranking Jewish lawmaker, he wants to stand by Israel, but Schumer is opposed to ceding power to President Trump. Schumer says Democrats will exercise their war powers if necessary. Jackie?
All right. Chad Pergram, thank you.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily.
That's fucking crazy. All right, says, let's see. Here's the latest one.
Senator Sanders. I'm Austin Westfall. We're getting breaking news. President Trump posting on Truth Social moments ago that the U.S. has completed an attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran. It reads as such: we have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this, Trump says. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter, the president says. We're just getting this in. He just sent this out moments ago, just before 8 p.m. Eastern time. Trump saying the attacks are successful. The strikes are a decision for the U.S. as Iran has pledged to retaliate if it joined the Israeli assault. And for Trump personally, having won the White House on the promise of keeping America out of conflicts, we're now seeing that we are seeing a number of strikes from the U.S.
Well, he lied about that, buddy. He lied about that, buddy boy.
In Iranian territory, including Fordow, Natanz, and the sites in Esfahan as well. This is, of course, going to lead for analysts and experts to prospect and to discuss the possibility of some sort of wider conflict. The Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen said that they would resume attacks on U.S. vessels in the Red Sea if the Trump administration joined Israel's military campaign. And of course, Iran themselves have said that the U.S. would pay if they were to get involved in a bigger fashion. So that is what we're hearing. The news of the hour. President Trump saying, quote, "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes," he says, "are now outside of Iranian airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow," President Trump says. He says the planes are safely on their way home. This is something that we're going to be following for the rest of the evening. We wanted to make sure we got this breaking news into you as soon as it came out. Still a lot to learn about what exactly happened in Iran, and perhaps we will learn more in the coming minutes and hours. We're checking for any sort of statements from top officials in the White House, Secretary of State Rubio. I'll be looking out for any comments from the Israeli government or Benjamin Netanyahu. In the meantime, let's do some fact-finding behind the scenes. A live look at Tel Aviv and at Jerusalem. It's now about 3 a.m, Israel Standard Time. We have not seen any activity in the skies above Tel Aviv or Jerusalem.
What the fuck? Oh my God. This is George W. Bush Part 2. George W. Bush Part 2, man. After all that politicking, after all that gallivanting, after all that saying like how it was such a horrible idea, because I remember he wrote that in his book. He said it was such a horrible idea for America to invade Iraq and Iran. What the fuck does he do? He didn't invade it. He bombs it. You know, he starts another war. He's picking up where George Bush left off. Okay, I feel like it's gonna be a worse recession than after this is subsided. It's gonna be a worse recession than what George Bush left behind. You understand? It's gonna be way worse. It's gonna be way worse, and we have nobody to blame but a fucking orange, a human orange, an orange with a toupee. I don't know. I blame MAGA. This is all MAGA's fault. Okay, you guys will cut off your nose to spite your face. You will destabilize the economy just to own the libs. And I'm not a Republican or a liberal. I'm just throwing that out there. But it just upsets me that like Trump, he feels the need he can speak for me as an American. I don't even think he's what we call a true American. Like he's what we call, well, another thing. He was a draft dodger as well. I noticed everybody who starts wars, they're draft dodgers. Only person who wasn't like that was John F. Kennedy. Okay, he actually served in the fucking war. You know, came back, became president, was really with the bullshit. He was a rich kid, but he still provided service to his country. You know, on the ground level, not just talking crazy on Twitter or sitting behind a desk acting like a fucking overlord. I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens, I have to see what happens, If you MAGA Christians are scared, pray to your God Trump. Hopefully he'll fix this, he'll get this shit straight, But oh my God, is there anything else, man? Here's the latest one from Fox. Oh, live from Fox. Oh, yeah, this is just like 13 minutes ago. Let's watch it.
Ever wonder why so many people say they want to learn guitar, but very few actually learn to play? It's
no, you ain't getting no, not for me. Not for me, sir.
Welcome back in Alive Now. I'm Austin Westfall. This is the breaking news we're tracking. President Trump saying that the U.S. has struck in Iran. He says we have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world, he says, that could have done this. Now is the time for peace, he writes in all caps. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Standing by is...
How you just go bomb the shit out of somebody and be like, this is the time for peace, man. You know, that's like me walking up to somebody. That's like me walking up to somebody who's just not. Well, I can't say Iran wasn't doing anything because, you know, they were in conflict with Israel. But like, that's literally like me walking up to somebody and slapping the shit out of them and telling them, okay, now it's time to heal. It's time to heal. It's time to, you know, be peaceful. You know, this shit is crazy, man. Let's finish.
National security analyst, retired Marine intelligence officer, and host of the Strat podcast, Hal Kempfer. Hal, you and I were planning to get on here and talk about the idea of B-2 bombers being sent to Guam. What do you make of this attack? It's already happened.
Well, you know, it's interesting, Austin. The essence of war, and I'm sure, you know, if you read Sun Tzu and The Art of War, deception is a core component. And of course, the story went out, they're going to Guam. Now, I actually went and looked at the map. They go, you don't really gain a whole lot by going to Guam. Well, the story was out, they're going to Guam. Obviously, they went a different direction. And that was apparently, shall we say, a cover story for where they were actually going. And they completed the mission. They did it sooner and faster than most experts predicted, that most, certainly anybody looking at this thought was going to happen. They thought the decision-making process was still in the works. And that is the essence of military art, if you will, or military science, is that you use deception, you use surprise. That's how you achieve your objectives. The B-2s got in there. They didn't hit just one facility, the Fordow facility, although based on what little we have from that text that was sent out by President Trump, that one was hit, I'm assuming pretty good from what they said, which means more than one massive ordnance penetrator, you know, GBU-57 bomb was actually used on that site. But they also hit the other two big sites, Esfahan and Natanz, which I thought was interesting. I'm not quite sure if they were using just GBU-57s or using those in concert with something else, because those are a little bit different locations, although I'm pretty sure both have an underground component to them. But I think the decision was, we're just going to take out Iran's nuclear capability across the board, which is essentially what we did, making a pretty bold statement. And I have to tell you, if you're the Iranian foreign minister, you know, in the middle of negotiations, trying to figure this out, well, your card, if you will, about saying, hey, we'll go ahead and have you come in and international inspectors look at these sites. Well, that whole card was just taken away because those sites are no longer functional. Of course, the fear is that those bombs didn't quite do everything that we hoped they were going to do. That was a big concern at Fordow. The geophysical, the features, if you will, underneath with all that hard rock, at least reportedly hard rock, that the bombs would have to negotiate or have to deal with, meant that it would be more difficult to destroy that underground facility, those underground cavities, with that particular device. So it's not, you know, we don't know. The battle damage assessment is yet to come out on how well these facilities were destroyed. But I imagine that very extensive Israeli intelligence capability that they have kind of permeated throughout Iran, particularly around Tehran, that is being basically charged to find out as much as possible, along with all the other sources of intelligence on that, you know, wherever it comes from around the world, to find out just how extensive and how thorough the damage was at these facilities.
I don't see the word B-2 bomber in this Truth Social post, Hal, but is it pretty safe to assume that that's what was used here?
It's pretty much implied. Yeah, I don't know. You know, he didn't put that in there, but I don't know what other bombers I mean, there were B-52s out there, but frankly, even with a rather permissive air environment like that, I don't know that I'd want to risk putting B-52 bombers over Iran because of the potential repercussions. So As far as I could tell, the only thing that we would use, and when he says planes, the only planes I can think of that we would use, the only planes that were really in the discussion were B-2 bombers. I'm kind of wondering how big this was. Usually you got one or two planes that would hit each site. I just don't know how big this was. It's rather interesting. Of course, he waited till they were out of Iranian airspace before he put out a text, which, that's part of the, strategic communications piece, which is, do you hold off or do you admit it soon? Well, you obviously, for operational risk purposes, you don't want to say anything until all the planes and the crews are safely out of harm's way. On the other hand, you don't want to sit on it too long because, well, frankly, the word will get out that this was good, that this happened. So you want to kind of get ahead of that, and it looks like they did that quite well, which is the U.S. put out the communication on this prior to the Iranians or anybody else saying something. And in that business, that's kind of what you want to do. You want to get your story, your narrative out there first as to what happened before the Iranians cook up whatever they cook up, and we'll see what they say. And I'm sure the Iranians will come back and say, it wasn't that bad or whatever it was. And they may make extraneous claims that they shot down a B-2 bomber or something. Who knows what the Iranians will come up with. I've seen some stuff that they put out on what they've done with the Israelis. And they had one where they photoshopped apparently photoshopped and did some weird stuff with an F-35 claiming to shoot it down. But when you looked at the picture, it had people around where this F-35 was supposed to be. Well, you look at the cockpit, you could have put 20 or 30 of the people inside the cockpit of the F-35, which kind of tells you whoever photoshopped it really didn't look at it that closely. That was an F-35 was being flown by a transformer, as near as I can figure out, because the size just didn't work. So got to be careful about Iranian propaganda. I'm sure they're going to try and do something after this strike as well.
Hey, everybody, it's Tony Robbins.
Oh,
Listen,
no.
I've spent the last 43 years now
Tony
working...
Robbins, no. Mr. Ed, no.
I have been getting questions from viewers all week, and the number one question people ask me is the U.S. going to get involved? Do we have an answer now?
I think we do. I think that's about as definitive as it gets. Yeah, there's I would say that has definitely erased strategic ambiguity. We are involved. The only question I have is this what we call a one and done? And it might be. Everything I've seen indicates that President Trump does not want to get involved in this war at all, if he could have avoided it. There was kind of a strategic imperative to do something. The concern has always been that the Iranians, once they were under attack, and we may not pick up on it's not like Khamenei's going to clear his decision with U.S. intelligence or Israeli intelligence to say, hey, I've decided I'm going to make a bomb. But the fear was that they would suddenly accelerate, which they could, and they had the capability. And everybody said that they're at the threshold of, whether it's within days or weeks or a couple months of making a nuclear device, that once there was bombing going on, once they were at war with Israel, that they would accelerate that process. So the clock was ticking in terms of being able to physically stop that from ever happening. And that's what President Trump and his, the National Security Council and all of his advisors were working with, was if they don't do it, what are the consequences? And the consequences are that Iran could have a nuclear device. And that would be absolutely catastrophic. Obviously, for Israel, if such a device was to get through, and some of the ballistic missiles from Iran have gotten through to Israel, they have hit major urban targets in Israel. You can imagine what that would be if just one nuclear warhead was on any one of those missiles and made it through. It would have been absolutely catastrophic for the nation state of Israel. It would have been catastrophic for the region. If Iran gets nuclear weapons, then all the other countries around them would suddenly say, oh, we have to have nuclear weapons, and you'd have a nuclear proliferation issue, and you'd have a lot of different players in the nuclear game, if you want to know the nuclear threat. that would make the situation globally less stable than it was before.
So I'm hearing from the New York Times that the president is going to address the nation tonight. We don't have a time yet. We'll bring you his speech in full as soon as we hear what time it's going to take place. We also are hearing from Bloomberg. Looks like Trump posted on Truth Social, Fordow is gone. Fordow is gone. Fordow being gone, Hal, what does that mean for Iran's nuclear program?
It's not exactly what I call a typical military phrase. We don't normally say targets are gone. Every once in a while, it's very true though. And in this case, what it means is I'm assuming, reading into that we have thoroughly destroyed the site, which would indicate that more than one GBU-57 was dropped. It could have been several, could have been a couple planes. I think each one can carry 2. And so if 4 GBU-57s, those massive ordnance penetrators, were dropped with the precision that is incumbent with those particular weapons, and certainly the B-2's capabilities, that would probably do a thorough job of destroying that facility as a nuclear enrichment facility. So I'm assuming he must have got some intelligence. We probably had a lot of things looking at that site, shall we say, and he got confirmation that they had effect on target, and that's the way he says effect on target is that Fordow is gone, which is another way of saying it's no longer a concern. That was the biggest one we were concerned about, because the Israelis couldn't do anything about that. Now, I'm going to be kind of curious to hear what exactly was done at the other 2 nuclear sites. By everything we know, they had some capability, some facilities that were underground. I don't know if it would require a GBU-57 to take those out, but certainly that would do quite a job. By the way, those things are not, these are very smart bombs. They don't all have to go down to 200 feet to penetrate. If there's a bunker, it's 100 feet down or 50 feet down, the bomb can be adjusted to get effect on target with that. And so we may end up seeing some texts or tweets, whatever you want to call those, social media posts that basically will maybe illuminate us as to the impact on the other 2 sites. And if those 3 sites are eliminated, then Iran no longer has the capability of creating a nuclear weapon, at least as far as I know. Of course, the fear was that they had secretly developed a nuclear weapon. There's no proof of that, but I will tell you that this week there was a 5.1 earthquake in the Tehran, near the Tehran area. Now it was 10 kilometers deep. Nobody has anything 10 kilometers deep, but the fact there was an earthquake and it was in the Fordow area or whatever had people speculating, oh my gosh, this is Iran doing an underground nuclear test, blah, blah, blah. There really wasn't anything to support that on the fact that there was an earthquake in that area, coincidentally. But it does tell you how people are kind of, leaning forward and on their, basically concerned about what Iran has or doesn't have. At this point, I can tell you this, based on
who got weapons of mass destruction. Does Iran have weapons of mass destruction? Oh man, this is gonna be fucking crazy, man. Oh my god, I hope he does not destabilize I hope they don't destabilize our economy. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just wanted to strike while the iron was hot. You know what I'm saying? This is a very crazy ass subject right now, but I don't know. This is your president. Well, technically it's our president. You know what I'm saying? He is the president of the United States. He did win by a fucking landslide, I don't know. I really don't know. Man. This is like it feels like 2005 all over again, man, 2004 all over again, Bush's second term. Like, I don't know who's old enough to remember that though. Like, are there any millennials in the chat right now, like watching this video? Like if you were born in the 90s and you grew up around like, you know, the 2003 2001 era, you remember George Bush's presidency. You remember how crazy everybody's parents was talking about Bush. It was white folks, it was black folks, it was Hispanics, it was Indians, especially Middle Easterns, man. Oh my God, how they're doing Mexicans right now, how they're just stereotyping them just because how they look. That's how they were doing with Indians in the early 2000s, man. Goodness. And fuck Bush too, man. I don't know why everybody is just so cool with him now. Like ever since he just got, you know, ever since they seen that picture with him and Michelle Obama, everybody just forget all the fuck shit that George Bush did. Not I. I remember you destabilizing the economy, fucking everybody out of their jobs. You're the reason why a lot of people in the Motor City you're the reason why Detroit is so fucked up right now, okay? Like that is your fault. And you're just somewhere somewhere in Texas counting your fucking billions, you know. Meanwhile, you left a whole shit streak behind for Obama to wipe up, you know, and he didn't do any better. You know, and here comes Trump. He just gonna keep the tradition going and just fucking over the little guys, you know, by starting all these unnecessary wars, you know, spending all this unnecessary money, printing all this unnecessary money, okay, for shit we don't need. I don't know. I'm not a reporter, you know. I'm not a journalist. I'm not an expert. I'm just a nigga who has a thought and he has a microphone. So when I feel like expressing myself, I turn this microphone on. You understand what I'm saying? And I see a lot of people panicking online, but I just feel like a lot of people do that, just mass hysteria and shit like that. Honestly, I don't really see us going to war. I don't see us going to war. I don't know what the fuck is about to happen. I just hope please don't shut off the fucking power grid. That's all I want. Please, nigga. I'm a fucking dialysis patient. I need the power right now, okay? Because I lose my machine, I'm gonna die, okay? And they're like, oh, why are you drinking? This is juice. This isn't even alcohol. I lied and said this is alcohol. This is fucking juice. You see that? It's orange juice. Look at you. You just prejudge me, right? But yeah. Oh, man. I hope this white boy knows what he's doing. I really do. Because he was talking such a big game during this election. You know, he had everybody with a red hat on, with a half chub while he was talking, you know. But yeah, going back to George Bush. George Bush is the reason why we can't even go to the airport and just have like a safe onboarding. You know, it's just a bunch of bullshit now. Like you damn near got to get a fucking cavity search when you go on the plane. And don't even get me started about these big metropolitan city airports, like places like, there we go. For example, George Bush Intercontinental in Houston, Texas. Oh my God, that is worse than fucking LAX. Like, damn, you got to go through a whole fucking, you got to do a cavity search. You got to spread your ass. Like, I feel like I'm going through processing in jail or some shit. Like, I got to take my pants off, spread my asshole open. You know what I'm saying? Clap it a few times. God, show my ID, read the fucking alphabet backwards in Hebrew, you know? Shit is fucking crazy. Like, George Bush probably, like, everybody loves to blame Obama. Everybody loves to, you know, blame Trump. But, like, the whole lasting effect, people really just skip over the fact of people just skip over the bullshit, the lasting effects of George Bush's presidency, okay? People skip over that. People just forget about that. Like, that is just out of people's minds now. People just forgot about that. I remember that was on every fucking news. That was on every fucking news station. Well, because he's the president. But like, yeah, like when he started that war in Afghanistan, when he started that war in Iraq, you know, when he just wanted to just evade Iraq because, was it Iraq or was it Iran? Because he assumed they had weapons of mass destruction when, you know, before. And it wasn't even for the weapons of mass destruction. He wanted that fucking oil. That's what he wanted. He's a Texas boy. He's a Texas boy, you know. And he wanted to make George Bush Sr. proud. He wanted to, you know, make his pappy proud, you know. I don't know. Because I think, George Bush Sr., he carried on what Ronald Reagan left off with the war on drugs, just destabilized the black community, you know, put a lot of black men in jail, broke up a lot of black families, fucked up the economy. He had a very famous saying, "Read my lips, fuck you, George Bush." Okay, fuck you and your daddy and your mama. Okay, fuck that old bitch. Goodness, and it's crazy. It's always these fucking privileged white kids that grow up through nepotism, become either they get these high-powered ass jobs like president of the United States or whatever, and first thing they do, they start these catastrophic ass world wars. Okay, they don't send their kids. They don't send their fucking kids. Okay, their kids are somewhere in a fucking Ivy League school, you know, getting ready to, you know, get ready to live a regular, not a regular life, but a very well-off life, you know. But you know, our kids, our nieces and nephews, our friends are going over and being enlisted into these fucking wars, you know. Rich man's war, poor man's blood, you know. It's always been like that. It's always been like that, you know. A lot of these fucking dickheads are draft dodgers. They're very unpatriotic. They are the farthest thing from patriotic, but they love to portray themselves as this good old American boy, never broke the law, always walked the line. I respect law enforcement and we need law and order and all this bullshit. But soon as the microscope is on them, oh, it's a witch hunt. Oh my goodness, golly gracious. Like, the goalpost is always moved for them. It's not for the little guy, though. Everybody must do as they say, but not as they do, okay? This guy, this guy can buy pussy while he's in office. This guy can sexually assault people. This guy can fuck young girls on Jeffrey Epstein's island. But, you know, MAGA still looks at him like he's one of the most patriotic motherfuckers on planet Earth. Like, he's such a good old boy. Such a good old boy. Don't get me started about these fucking Caucasians down here. They love this. They love this fucking hunky. I swear to God. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to that. I'm not enlisting to that bullshit ass war. Okay, you get Billy or Johnny or one of y'all kids to do that shit. I ain't going over to that motherfucker. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Fuck out of here, man. Shit. Send all those little Maganites. Send all those little patriotic white boys with those alt-right haircuts. You know, send them over there. Let them do it. Like, they want to fight so bad. They love America. Like, I love America as well, but I don't love it that much to go fight. I don't know them fucking sand niggas over there. I ain't do nothing to me. They ain't do shit to me. Not a goddamn thing. Shit. My grandpa went over to one of those wars. He came back. He was not right ever since, you know. I didn't even get to meet the man, you know. It's crazy. That's what I'm talking about. Rich man's war, poor man's blood. Poor man's mental. They go over to these wars. They come back. They fucked up in the head. They have no help, no programs. I guess now they do, but it's a lot of Vietnam vets that still didn't get the proper help or, relief that they needed. A lot of them came back. They were on drugs, had a lot of mental issues, beat their wives. They were alcoholics. They were on heroin. They even had, Agent Orange when they came back. So it was some shit up in their body. They couldn't function as regular people when they got back here. And what did America do? Not a goddamn thing. Not a fucking thing. I tell you, I see so many homeless veterans. I see, like, bro, they on the corner more than these fucking prostitutes. I see ones without legs out here, homeless. That you got money to give to these fucking migrants and shit. You got money to give to these fucking South Africans and shit like that, America will get his reckoning. All right? It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. Hell, I might not even live to see it. But it's gonna happen. America has done too much fuck shit to its own and to other people. And you think we just get to walk around, we just be walking around this bitch like it's sweet. Like we just be walking around this bitch like we got the biggest dick on planet Earth, which in a sense we do, but still. And we are supposed to be a Christian nation, man. All we do is just like, and then, like, bro, like we're supposed to be a Christian nation. We didn't spill so much blood over this fucking globe. We done stuck our dick in business that they didn't even need to be in. We done fucked over so many people's economies, went in their areas, killed their people, took their resources, And we act like we the victims when they want to retaliate. Now we scared. I seen a bunch of people online, my color and the color of bird shit online expressing their fears about this potential war between Iran and the US and Israel, and will Russia join and will China join and all this extra shit. I'm like, why the fuck are y'all scared now? America's getting what is deserved, okay? You still haven't made right with your original debt, which was reparations for the descendants of American slaves. Oh no. I know I'm just thinking about the comments right now. It's a bunch of fucking fat old white people, preferably Generation X, talking about, oh, you there. Not out of my pocket, buddy. You don't deserve. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, okay? All y'all need to die. Y'all whole generation just you guys have fucked the economy. You guys have fucked this whole world into a goddamn coma. It's all your fault. Generation X, the baby boomers, all you guys. And what will be your legacy? Wars, famine, economic destabilization, racism, a whole bunch of fucking kids out of wedlock. What's your legacy? Not a goddamn thing. What the fuck good did you guys do? Besides smoke weed and take shrooms in your youth. Like what the fuck did you guys do? What groundbreaking shit did you guys do? It made me sick to my fucking stomach. And you guys got the nerve to talk about millennials and talk about Gen Z and talk about Gen Alpha. What the fuck did you do? Huh? Nothing besides run your fucking cocksuckers. That's all you did. You deserve everything that you get. You deserve everything that's coming your way, good or bad. You piece of shits. You toilet full of diarrhea. Oh, man. I'm sipping. We talking reckless tonight. We talking super reckless tonight. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to be here for about an hour. About an hour. I'm going to talk my shit, okay? Oh, man. Will this escalate into catastrophic warfare? Maybe not, maybe, everybody just being hypochondriacs, everybody's just, everybody just being over dramatic as usual, especially the media. That's what you guys have been doing for generations. All this nonsense, all this propaganda. All you want to do is just get people scared. You keep people divided by, constantly reporting on their differences, putting a microscope on the very few, okay? And then applying the actions of very few and applying it to a whole race of people. That's what you do on the regular. That is your fucking legacy. You are no different. You are no different than Nazi Germany with their propaganda. But only thing with you guys, you perfected it. Not only did you make one group of people hate another group of people, you made another group of people hate themselves. Forget who they are. The niggas are dangerous. Mexicans are dangerous. Middle Easterns are dangerous. We don't need any more Haitians in here. We don't need any more Africans in here. No, we need South Africans. We need more Asians in this fucking country. We don't need any more. It's enough snow, okay? The snow needs to melt. We don't need any more fucking snow on the ground. All right? I'm just, that's just what it is. I see this shit every day. And I'm not trying to play victim because, I'm a black man. No, this shit is what it is. Like, every time I meet a patriotic Caucasian, it's always a countdown for some racist shit to come out of their fucking mouths. You understand? Maybe it's because I live in Houston, Texas. I really don't bump shoulders or run into a lot of smart Caucasians. I don't. Like, I live in Clear Lake, right? I live in Clear Lake, Webster, Texas. You know what I'm saying? There's so many drug addicts over here. There's so many dumb, uneducated Caucasians over here. And what gets me so upset, right? Not only that there's Caucasians down here that discriminate the people who don't even look like them. The people who don't even look like them join in on the discrimination practices of the Caucasian. And mind you, these aren't even rich Caucasians. These fucking dirt bunnies, they're not what you would call intellectually superior. What they think they're superior, but you know, these are the type of people that like they're like functioning retards. You know, you should just be surprised that they put their fucking like they have their shoes on the correct feet. You know, when they step out the house. You know, they're that type of stupid. They're that type of stupid. You know. Oh man, I didn't mean to get worked up. Maybe it's the alcohol. I don't know. That's my only drink for the night. Oh, we are 50 minutes in, man. Man, this video is so boring. I really. Yeah, I really want to finish this video, but I don't want to. No, I don't want to watch this. It's just boring. But you know. Everybody's cheering on for this nuclear war. Everybody's happy. Everybody's like, oh my God, what's going on? Oh, yeah, Trump, he's really doing it. Yeah, thanks, Trump. Yeah, he's saving so many lives. Fuck out of here. All right, we're going to go to this next one. It's Fox News clips, and it says Trump attacks Iran nuclear sites. This was the deception. And who is this old bitch that's talking? Oh, man. Oh, my.
As soon as you put the plug in on the Sonic, you're 90%, 95% of the way there.
What other plugins do you know that you could put one instance on every track and already getting the
that nigga look
just
like...
in from the Senate Majority Leader,
I'm
John
JP.
Thune. The regime in Iran, which has committed itself to bringing death to America and wiping Israel off the face of the map, has rejected all diplomatic pathways to peace. The mullah's misguided pursuit of nuclear weapons must be stopped. Senate Majority Leader Thune continues, as we take action tonight to ensure a nuclear weapon remains out of reach for Iran, I stand with President Trump and pray for the American troops and personnel in harm's way. Just moments ago, the president shared or reposted on his Truth Social a sentence from an open source that said,
Notice he's on Truth Social. Did Elon kick him off of Twitter? I need to know, did Elon kick him off of Twitter? Because like he's been posting on this Truth Social. I haven't really been seeing him on Twitter a lot. Like, so is him and Elon, they really into it? Did he kick him off Twitter again like he did Kanye? I don't know. Let me know.
Fordow is gone. We'll go back to Jen Griffin at the Pentagon. What else are you working, Jen?
Well, Brett, I think we have to look back at the news that broke earlier today. Those 6 B-2 bombs.
She looked just like that crazy bitch off of Orange is the New Black. What was it? Season 3? The one who was talking to herself with the glasses. Oh, what's that bitch name? Lolly. That's who she looked like. She looked like Lolly off of Orange is the New Black. That's crazy. Can you guys see her? Chat, can you guys see her? Hold on. Hold on. Hear me? My fault. My mic was muted. But yeah, she looks just like Lolly. Her right here. She looks just like Lolly off Orange is the New Black, man. Hey, y'all think I'm bullshitting. Hold on. Hold on, G. Hold on. I will pull up a picture. Oh my God. Do we got time? Let's see. Oh no, I gotta stop screen. I can't even share. Bro. I gotta exit out of this bitch. Okay, but we gonna finish watching this video. Then after we done, I'm gonna show you who she look exactly like. Okay.
Bombers that were heading west towards Guam, they would not have made it to Iran in time to.
Fuck that. Okay, remember this bitch face. Okay, remember what she looked like. All right, hold on. Let's see. Lolly, from Orange is the New Black. Yeah, there she go right there. She looked just like that. Well, yeah, look, there she go. There she go, cuz. Oh, dead homie. She looked just like her, bro. Dead homie. Just like that bitch right there. There she go. Oh my God. I swear to God, man. Like, God, he just
in from the Senate Majority Leader, John.
because there's not really a lot of variety. They look so the same, you know, but they all say black people look the same. Asian people look the same. They do. Turkeys, especially by the neck. All right, but we're going to finish this, though. Let me shut up.
Thune, the regime in Iran, which has committed itself to bringing death to America and wiping Israel off the face of the map, has rejected all diplomatic pathways to peace. The mullah's misguided pursuit of nuclear weapons must be stopped. Senate Majority Leader Thune continues, as we take action tonight to ensure a nuclear weapon remains out of reach for Iran, I stand with President Trump and pray for the American troops and personnel in harm's way. Just moments ago, the president shared or reposted on his Truth Social a sentence from an open source that said Fordow is gone. We'll go back to Jen Griffin at the Pentagon. What else are you working, Jen?
Well, Brett, I think we have to look back at the news that broke earlier today, those 6 B-2
Yeah, there she go. There go Lolly right there, bro. There go Lolly right there, G. Hold on.
bombers that were heading west towards Guam. They would not have made it to Iran in time to take part in this strike. So that suggests to me that there was an additional B-2 package that perhaps flew eastward from Whiteman Air Force Base. Again, this was all part of the deception. There was a great deal of sort of misleading tidbits put out there to suggest that maybe President Trump had put off the decision and that this would happen 2 weeks from now. But as we knew, there were other indications, and we did not report earlier this week, even though we knew that Whiteman Air Force Base had put out a notice suggesting that the base—
You said Whiteman Air Force? That's crazy.
Was closed for so-called repairs until Monday, June 23rd. Now, if you look at the time frame of where we are right now, those B-2s would be home at Whiteman by the time that notice.
Yeah, Whiteman. That's crazy. They got an air carrier called Whiteman. That's insane.
And that would be lifted on Monday, June 23rd. So that was put out a week ago. And so we should have had some clue that this might have been some indication of the time frame. That being said, there were a lot of people. Everyone was looking west, and it is possible that these B-2s actually flew east, and they used those refuelers that we've talked about. Now, if we also look at the number of sites, there were 3 sites. We know that B-2s at least would fly most likely in pairs, and so you would have had at least 4 massive ordnance penetrators, those 30,000-pound bombs dropped on the Fordow site. You could have had other B-2s engaged in Natanz as well as Esfahan, but you also could have had other fighter bombers. The U.S. Air Force has many bombers at its, and they have smaller bunker buster bombs that are smaller than the MOP, the 30,000-pound bombs. So we'll have to wait and see when the Pentagon or the president decides to share exactly how many planes were involved and what configuration took out these 3 sites. But this, what I would like to say, and from talking to many former commanders who were responsible for this kind of mission and this mission in particular, I can tell you that their fear is what comes next. And always as part of—
Ooh, bitch, you talk too slow for me, boy. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie, fam. I'm not gonna lie, chat. This bitch talk too slow for me, bro. Bitch talk like she from Houston. And another thing, and the white man and like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, I swear that irritates me more than anything when somebody takes so fucking long to get to the point, man. Like, so I might come off as an asshole because, like, sometimes I just be in a rush, man. Bitch, I need you to get to the goddamn point, bro. Like, for real. Especially if I have to piss or shit or something, like, and somebody just talking so slow, I'm like, get the fuck out of my face, Stanley. You know. Oh man. Oh my goodness, bro. This is so fun. I ain't gonna lie. I always have fun on these live streams, man. I know I'm finna get canceled like a motherfucker. One of these bitches go viral. But this is the fun part though, because we're not viral yet. So we're just testing the waters. This is like my 3rd live. And I'm starting to get addicted to this shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna take a break tomorrow. Because I got got my little dialysis treatment. So I'm gonna take a little trip. I'm gonna take a little time for myself, get some rest, get all this fluid out my body, and maybe make some cookies or something. I don't know. Hopefully the world won't end by the time of my next live stream. Hopefully we won't be in a full-fledged war. War. But I doubt we will be. I don't think we're gonna be at war no time soon. You guys let me know in the comment section, man. What do you guys think? Do you think we're gonna go to war? Do you think, Iran, they've been really fronting they move for a long time, and it was time for us to put belt to ass. I just, man, I get it, I get it. Sometimes I'm like anti-war, and sometimes I'm kind of for it, because somebody needs to kill and somebody needs to die for these beautiful freedoms that we have in this country. And I know I sound like a walking contradiction, but I do love the country that I'm in. I would not want to live in any other country. I would not want to live in fucking Iran. Hell fucking no. Like, I love having access to a Snickers and a Mountain Dew if I wanted. I do, okay? Even though I don't drink or eat Mountain Dew. I don't drink Mountain Dew or I don't eat Snickers anymore. But it's just nice to know that we have access to them whenever we want them, okay? Like, I don't want to be in a place where the whole fucking city smell like Goop Scoop, and giraffe ass, okay? So I thank God I'm an American. All right, and I thank God for those men and women who died, who gave that right to me, okay? And peace to my grandfather, even though we never met. Thank you. Thank you for fighting in the Vietnam War. I love you and I respect you. Thank you. Thank you for having my mother so my mother could have me, okay? And I can be here to talk to these delusional motherfuckers and get them right, okay? Thank you, Mr. Tucker, the original Mr. Tucker. Oh, man. That's not all I wanted to talk about. I really wanted to talk about this whole Jim Jones fiasco, right? Jim Jones is out of his fucking mind. What's going on, Jimmy? What's going on, Jimmy? Jim Jones sat up here and he said he had more Billboard hits than Nas. Nasir Jones, Nostradamus, Nasty Nas, Escobar. Shit is crazy, man. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up that clip. It comes by way of Joe and Jada. Jim Jones came on Jadakiss and Fat Joe's podcast. Oh shit, it's already up there. Damn, just in the search bar. They must be paying Lior some bread. I forgot they was signed to Lior too at one point. So they got the direct pipeline. So if they ever need anything far as like YouTube, because you do know Lior Cohen is the president of YouTube now. He left 300 to become the president of YouTube. So all his signees, they have a direct pipeline to him, the older niggas, so they can do whatever they want. God, every time I see Jim Jones, bro, he looks so old. And that's not me, coming at the older generation. He's just like, fuck, bro. Like he white, which is good because his wisdom. He's not hiding it, but it's just like sometimes I'm like, damn, bro, like you a little too old to be acting the way you do. Not trying to throw the ageism in there. I'm just saying, like, it comes a time because, like, look, bro, I used to be a dreadhead. I used to be a wild little gangbanging ass nigga, right? But it was a point in time where I was like, okay, I'm a little bit too old to be doing the shit that I'm doing. Okay, so I switched it up and I stopped doing stuff that I did as a child when I became a man. Okay, but yeah, let's go back to what Mr. I Got More Hits Than Nas said, and this comes by way of Joe and Jada in the Joe and Jada podcast by Fat Joe and Jadakiss of the Locks. Let's do it. Oh shit, I forgot. Oh my God.
I recently saw a clip on Instagram where a young kid was comparing you to Nas and saying that.
Shout out to Fat Joe, but Fat Joe is a fucking liar, and I don't know. I don't know about the you got some nasty allegations on you, by the way, man. So I hope you address that.
You got
that's my young boy.
Big hits.
He's wild.
Yo, he looked to you. He learned how to.
He got one hit, by the way, and that's Ballin'. We don't know any other hits besides Ballin'. Now we know Cameron has multiple hits. Okay, Joel Santana got a couple, but Jim Jones, he just got Ballin'. He just got Ballin', bro. I don't know any songs outside of Ballin'. Y'all know any? Let me know. I want y'all to name 5 Jim Jones records.
Wear the BB Simon belt from you. He got his swag. Like, how crazy is that? Because in my era, you know what I'm saying? Nas is like a god.
And we ain't gonna even talk about the real swag, nigga. He got all his swag from Cameron. Okay. Everybody loves to breeze over the fact. Everybody loves to just cut Cam out of the equation. Niggas was trying to dress like Cam. Okay. The reason why Kanye was wearing all the pink because he got that shit from Cameron. He didn't get that shit from Jim Jones. Like, Jim Jones is the little homie. The little homie. He's the little homie that looked like the older homie now. Like, shit is real crazy. But let's continue though.
In my era too. I mean,
so to be compared,
let me that young kid out. Let me.
He was young, and we loved that he loved Jim Jones. I want you to break it down.
Let's break this down. I admired Nas, but remember Nas' first record, The Barbecue, came out when I was in 11th grade. So Nas was my idol when I was young. Like you did, came to dressing, the wordplay, the music, everything. I was a superior Nas fan. Period. I'd never take that away from him. But then as I got in the game, you got to realize that your rivals would be idols, and not to take anything away from that. I developed my own style and my own lane that these kids start to gravitate towards the same way I gravitated towards Nas when I was younger and things like that. It's a whole different generation. We're talking about 94, 93. I was in 11th grade. Nigga, it's 2025. There's a big gap there, you know what I mean? And I want people to understand that. So when Shorty's telling people,
we haven't heard any hits from Jim Jones. Not even, I ain't going to even just say hits, Billboard hits. Just any relevant songs that we just study listening to this day. Like, what's one Jim Jones song? People outside of New York, okay? Like we can name, like, I can name like 2 Nas albums that I've listened to like in the last 3 years. That's King Disease 1, King Disease 2, and the Magic Mixtapes, all produced by the talented Hit Boy. Okay, all great albums, Okay, so I'm not finna sit here and let you talk that ageism bullshit. Okay, even though y'all niggas is the same age, y'all both in y'all 50s. Okay, you sitting here with the salt and pepper beard, trying to act like you just way more relevant than Nas, and Nas is like, I think Nas is older than you, and he looks way younger than you. That's crazy. That's the crazy part about all this shit.
People that, yeah, he's
nigga look like a drunk Dominican uncle, bro. I swear.
20-some years old. That goes to show the part of the era that he's in, that I came into light and started going crazy, that these kids love me. They don't really know who Nas is. If he's 22, he's born in 03.
Not all of them. Some of them, though. But
you know what I mean?
A lot
Like,
of them, though.
Yes.
But
yeah,
it's the era.
Some music.
No,
some kids that.
No, I love that.
There's some kids that love hip hop.
20, so I mean.
Cause look, I see when niggas get the line, like when these old niggas get the line, bro. Like look at Joe. He already activated. He ready to start co-signing on that fucking live, bro. I swear to God, this fucking, like, it's always these New York spics, bro. I swear to God, bro. They love to fucking lie, bro. Go ahead. Let to rewrite history. Try to knock out, trying to discredit a founding FBA member, bro. Like Nas was on the recent his Thug Thizzle, okay, We don't remember no recent Jim Jones verse, nigga, that just was like, damn, that nigga went crazy. No, this nigga got to go get Fabio Foreign. He got to go get I don't think he did any. Has he did any record with A? Because they all from Harlem. I don't know, bro. I don't know any. I can't name a recent Jim Jones songs. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
But he's your son.
He's your son.
He's your son.
No, but he knows.
My son, my son can't tell you one Nas record. You heard? Like, let's keep it a buck here.
Yeah, but
my son can't tell you no Jim Jones records, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Stop it, bro. Stop the nonsense, bro.
Like, let's keep it a buck. You heard? Let's keep it a buck because you'll bring it up.
Yeah, when niggas like this start saying shit like let's keep it a buck, he's about to lie. He's going to lie. He's going to try to bring up some lame ass, fake ass, lying ass narrative, okay? But continue though, Jimmy.
There must be some type of misconception or what's that word when it comes to Jim Jones and what Jim Jones have done in this game. A lot of these rappers,
we made him take the darkies off.
A lot of these rappers have done a tremendous job, and I take nothing away from them. But they forget I got a hell of a catalog. Me, Jim Jones, myself, gold records, platinum records, gold albums, platinum albums. No, me, Jim Jones. No diplomats, no nobody else. Me, Jim Jones.
It's just balling. Just balling.
Check my track record, then check everybody else's track record. Then go to the billboards and check all my entries, then check all them niggas' entries and shit like that. And I'm not taking nothing away from nobody, but I hear the comparisons and the niggas be trying to act funny when it.
Relax, my nigga. God damn, why is you he looked like he about to start crying again, like he was crying on Hot 97 with his sensitive ass, bro. Jesus Christ. These Dominicans, y'all something else, bro. Like, goodness.
No, I've been spanking a lot of this shit. I'm talking about the industry. I've been putting on. So let's not get into that where we get into numbers and I got to show you the statistics of what I've done. You heard to what other people was done. You heard, and if you want to go to the billboard entries, pull up Nas billboard entries, then pull up my billboard entry.
If we do that, you going to get embarrassed, bro. You going to get embarrassed. You have 0 platinum albums, bro. Nas has 8. He has 8. This shit is crazy. Like, the fact that niggas just get up here and lie because he knows it's a lot of young, impressionable, goofy niggas who just gonna be like, oh, he's nobody likes to do their research, okay? And it's a lot of niggas, a lot of bitter ass niggas. You know, they hold grudges, okay? So they know these young niggas don't know it, so that's when they come and try to that hate. They try to create these bullshit ass narratives, okay? I'm not fucking with it. I'm not fucking with it, blood. I'm not fucking with it.
Listen, we can't compare the two. What I'm trying to tell you is
I want to go there. Hold on. I want to go down the line now because now we going down the line. He's a rapper and I'm a rapper.
Listen,
let's go statistically.
It feels great.
No, but I want to go statistically because when people be like,
I feel the same way.
We don't want to hear what you got to say, Joe, because you so disconnected from this shit. We already know you finna try to co-sign with another lie, nigga, because that's all you fucking do. You are the most knee-knock lying spick from New York, nigga. I'm still tripping off the fact that he was talking about how he had to save Tupac. Fucking liar.
And forget about the numbers. My numbers back up.
Let me step up to the forefront. Us in the music of hip hop culture have a problem is a thing, and there's nothing. The world goes off numbers, but in hip hop we don't pay enough homage to those before us the correct way, and sometimes it's even myself. So it gets no other genre of music.
Your ears are gross. Yeah, you heard me.
Oh, come on now. She got a switchblade to wash that ass? That's crazy.
Fucking, I don't even know who to use.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, hip hop is like basketball.
Jelly Roll's never gonna say that about
hip hop is like basketball.
Jelly Roll.
John Morant get on the court with LeBron. He's going to kill LeBron. So this is what this is
any
about.
Song, any of that shit is murder.
This is what this is about.
That don't got nothing
there's
to
nothing
do
that could. There's never is me. Putting me up against anybody. I'm taking me every time. Every time.
Supposed to.
Okay,
every
but
time.
let me
categories.
say something though, Jim. Let me
in
say,
every category,
Jim,
I get.
You can't name one time Jim Jones battled somebody and he just tore their head off. You can't name one. You can't name not one, bruh. Like who the fuck did he dismantle? You couldn't fuck with Cam because Cam is a superior lyricist. Cam put you on. Okay, you Cam's little homie, nigga. We wouldn't know you without Cam. You owe your life to Cam. You do. And how did you repay? Doing fuck shit, trying to little sneak diss him, trying to put little sneak diss records and all this weird ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Jim is a fuck nigga. I swear. Jim is a straight fuck nigga, bro.
You started off saying you grew up watching Nas.
Of course, I didn't take that away from
the
him.
only situation
You just grew up talking about you watching Nas and now you trying to shit on him. He's a fuck nigga, bro. Loving hip hop ass nigga, bro.
Saying now to you, right? There is no situation.
I always tell people
kids
that
should
story.
worship you.
You fucking started.
No, I'm not doing this. I did not know
Nas
it was
gonna be
going
mad
there.
at you because you're really friends with him.
He gonna be mad at you.
Not me. I don't know him. You heard?
Oh, he's a beautiful guy.
I understand
That's my
that.
brother.
No, he's a
But he
beautiful
gonna be
guy.
mad at you.
Well,
I'm not
not
bring my
mad at
name
me.
up in that conversation, bro. Like,
He
come
just
on,
asked
bro.
you
Yeah, but
about
we didn't
something.
know all that.
What he
We
do
always-
all the time. Something
Alright,
he
well,
saw on the
me.
internet
You're not
that
gonna
he
mention
didn't
me
have to
next to
ask.
nobody. I'm not gonna talk
You
my
didn't
shit.
have to do that.
I'm a pop mines
It's
every
your
time.
fault.
You heard?
Can we go?
I just
Can we
told
go?
the people you're not doing none of that. And
I'm
what
looking.
did he do?
Good
He went
audio.
over there and
You
did-
heard?
Listen.
Niggas don't even know about the audio.
Can we
you heard?
talk? Can
You
we
heard?
talk? Can we talk
Yeah,
about?
do it.
All right. I love this interview, although it was very painful. It was at a tough time. When I seen you, I don't forget where it was at, if it was Hot 97 or something, where you were just saying, yo, you a family man, you never made no excuses, even when you went through tough times. You know, you took care of your family. They never knew you was going through tough times. I applaud you with that interview. I feel like that's one of them classic interviews that stands out to me in hip hop music. Do you feel like after that interview now, do you feel like that's what you was talking about? Like, I'm going to fight my way back to the top and I feel good right now about where I'm at in the world? Because I love that interview.
Well, that interview was just a testament of where I was at the time and the things that I knew I had to do in order for me to progress.
Think he brought the temperature back down.
I mean,
I don't want to hear that shit. I got you. I'm
I
talking
switch
to
this shit off and on, you heard? I got different characters I gotta play. We talk about the sport and I'm gonna go hard, you heard? We talk about
But let's talk about
But that's
that
how
interview and the passion you had behind that.
I still got the same passion as you can see. You heard? I'm a passionate brother. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I cry a lot of shit like that. I'm very emotional. So when people talk about me, I gotta stand up for me because nobody else gonna stand up for me, as you see. You heard? I fight all my battles on my own. I take losses and I take my wins the same way. You heard? The same smirk, just like this. Yeah, let's get this correct, because you know, and the media stretch this shit so many different ways. When they see me get excited, I get excited because I'm a very passionate person. Everybody knows this, and as a man, when you talk about me, I'm always gonna pick me first. But as a fan, I'm one of the biggest fans of Nas. I know one of his albums, word for word, back and forth. Like that was my era when I was first coming outside and things like that. Nas had wrote the playbook for how we was running the streets and things that he also dressed the way we was running the streets back then and things like that. And not to take nothing away from my Harlem niggas, but Nas had a hold on us and shit like that when we was younger and things like that. The same way Pac had a hold on us. But for New York City, he came with a whole different flavor and a different cadence at the time that was well needed. It switched from what we heard in Big Daddy Kane to a whole nother way of hustlers was talking and rhyming and things like that. And everybody understood that. Like, yo, he would, like, I can never take away anything that he's done in the game. I can't, you heard? And that's not it. But as a competitive man, that's all I'm doing is popping my shit. And this is what hip hop is about. But for the most part, I got no problem with Nas. Shouts to Nas. Shouts to all of them guys.
Who's most influenced you now that you said that from growing up artists? Who's been, so you could, even to this day, who's most Name some artists
some of
that
the
you love
most
their
that I love.
music or whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Rakim,
Definitely.
Nas, Big Daddy, KRS One,
No Cool G.
Cool G. I'm going down the line now. I'm going down the line. You're gonna make me go.
Nah, but that's good shit. No.
You know what I mean? Like, and you wanted to do you one of the few people that persevered from the Cool G era to now. Like that's you dig you gotta always remember that. I don't know if you ever sit down and think about that. Like, yo, we've been watching you for a long time and things like that. Put on
LL, Buster, and Fat Joe.
Who else?
Got a lot of.
It's a lot of. It's bro. I'm a hip hop baby. I used to watch Ralph McDaniels every day after school. I want to see every bit of videos, everything. I want to see all of that. You heard? Like I knew everything about that. You heard? Like
that channel. We had to turn. That was still the fatback TV.
Yeah, you had to fix the back, and then you go. It was 13. You had to turn to 13. You had to turn to 13.
U 31. You had to put it on 13.
Yeah. They don't know about that. Yeah, that's ColecoVision days.
I don't know. I guess, man. I don't know, Jimmy. You not fucking with Nas in no way, shape, or form. No way, shape, or form. Okay, Nas is a generational artist. You can't hold a candle. You can't even hold a match. You can't even hold a fucking bic to him, bro. Shit is crazy. Like these niggas. Oh my god, man. Oh my goodness. Hold on, man. I was just posting something on my Instagram real quick. I shall be with you back shortly, indeed. Indeed. Damn, it's 10:19, man. Oh man, this is a cool little live, bro. This is a cool little live, man. Well, I'm faded. I'm gonna get off this live before I say anything more crazy and get my whole channel striking and took it off the face of the planet Earth. I appreciate you guys vibing with me. They got all who clicked on and clicked off. You know, I don't know. I don't know. It's probably y'all still watching, but I don't really give a fuck. Like I get on here to get my point across. I don't do this for likes. I don't do this for views. You dig what I'm saying? I sometimes when I don't feel like rapping, I just need to get on the mic and just express myself. And this is how I do it, you know? I appreciate you guys, you know, all 940 of my subscribers. Hopefully we get to 100,000 soon. You know, we're going to keep pushing this big fin ball up the hill, just like Sisyphus. You dig me? And if anybody hasn't told you today, I love you. I care for you. And I know you can do it, and I believe in you, okay? Don't let any of these obstacles stop you from your God-given goals, your God-given right to the pursuit of happiness, okay? Everybody deserves happiness. Don't let anybody stand in the way. I don't care how embarrassed people try to make you feel or how they try to shame you to try to get you back down on the level. Don't listen, okay? You only have one life to live, okay? You're the only one. That casket is only made for you. Nobody else is going to be in there with you. Okay. So in the in-between time from your birth date to your death date, in the in-between time, that little dash, that is the stuff that you're doing in between. Okay. The impact that you're making, the relationships that you're building, you know, what will be your legacy? Will it be, I was too scared to chase after my dreams, or would it have been like, man, fuck these niggas? Or fuck everybody who died of me. I'm finna raw dog the shit out of life. That's what I'm finna do. I'm finna do my thug thizzle. I don't give a fuck. Okay. And that's how you need to be 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Live your life to the fullest, man. You don't know when you're about to go. You don't know when the alpha omega is gonna punch the clock on you. You understand? So get you the most out of this motherfucker, okay? Get you the most out of this motherfucker, man, because we only get this bitch. We don't know how many times we get this bitch around. You dig what I'm saying? So I appreciate you guys rocking with me. I hope you guys are taking care of yourself. Make sure you drink water. Make sure you guys are washing your asses and brushing your teeth. Okay. Emphasis on washing your ass because nobody wants to smell. Nobody wants to smell your walk by win. Okay. Or your sit down win. All right. That shit is something serious. But I wish nothing but peace and prosperity for you and your families. I believe in you. I love you. If anybody didn't tell you, you're the best, you're the greatest. You are worthy, you are enough. And again, I love you. And I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one, okay? Continue being great. Almighty.